The flag is not leaning. I don't know how they got home. I'm on my own here. It feels that everything has to be rearranged. I'm suffocating. We know so little about ourselves. My heart is pounding like crazy. I can't ignore it. I have an irrational fear of going crazy, and I can't let go of it. Patterns and neural highways in the body. Reactions.
My condition and I are not the same. The effort of my life in its reality. Contact.
I'm just like a black finger. Sitting in eternal fierce motion. Any input, even the most neutral, is painted black. It's like a damaged cartridge that brings in blunders and clutches. On a scale of bad luck from 1 to 10, I rate 7. It could be a great thing if you forget that usually I rate 2. The pickleries of the arch sleeve and the hexagonally. They are struggling for the first place. Like the arsenal of the secret struggles with the younger boss. A quiet Volga train and the standard plus
inside the body as a vital experience. You don't do yourself any favors by avoiding.
When I walk across the track, I am of no use to anyone. I remember sitting at the bus stop. I was not aware of my body there. It was just me, but now it's all different.
When the light is free, possible. Hold on the side. Not women, buildings. You sense to yourself. Give me value. Man, a little boy, this is run into you like this. A room without wind. It's like a drink. To the surface and memory conscious. That's the whole. It's impossible to carry on because it's impossible to carry on because when the light is green, calling questions. Crossing this street when the light is green, calling questions. About meaning and anxiety is no longer possible. Meaning and anxiety is no longer possible. Spring is a promise, summer awaits, autumn is silent. Meaning and anxiety is no longer possible. Spring is a promise, summer awaits, autumn is silent. Only winter is patient, only in winter, only winter is patient. There are blizzards, not wind, buildings and no buildings. There are blizzards, not wind, buildings and no buildings. You can bring back the past and I would you before without saying goodbye. There is the idea of coming back to talk it in the future. Coming back to talk it in the future. Stride on the shoulder, stride on the shoulder. The someone will say I was walking along the fence and I didn't expect to run into you like this. Walking along the fence and I didn't expect to run into you like this. Into you like this. And right without windows is like a grave. There is nothing to look at. Into you like this. And right without windows is like a grave. There is nothing to look at. You have to look from Moscow out to the sun, but the memory appeals. From Moscow out to the sun, but the memory appeals. To conscience, laughable to conscience, to the suburbs. To conscience, to the suburbs. Here.
Suddenly, I remembered something that used to be very important to us. It's hard to believe how improbable that outcome has turned out to be. The impossible, the random, always wins the day. How do you feel about the past? It was painful but formative. Do you remember? You have everything in your hands. You have everything decided. Everything is still in flux, unstable, but it's free. This is that freedom. I still have it. You don't have it anymore. You fooled around with one thing after another and abandoned what you begun. Fast over trials. And I chased after you, then run away from you. You're nobody now, but I may have come back. But there is nowhere to go back to.
We have the whole future ahead of us. This is the overture. The opening act now. It's not the main act. The main act hasn't happened.
Now, we are definitely turning to the body. What is it like now? The erotic hours again. In this externally imposed vacuum, we were alone with ourselves. Monitoring our breathing more carefully on guard of pain, forced not to touch. Some may have believed in the Alliance future, in changes to the world order and social distance. But I'm increasingly convinced we're on the right track.
You remember 5 years at most. But the distance is already high. Like you can say, this is responsibility. Where are you with this person who is treasure? Do we have something in common? I'm sorry now about the timing of limitations between us. It's begun to reconnect today. Will I make it big? It's all just beginning for me.